One of two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs.
And that's going to skip into the end zone for a touchback. To throw on the first play, McCarthy.
Forced out to his left.
It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one.
Even though it's the opening drive of the game, he wasn't shy about taking off and running with the football, even knowing the defense is definitely going to take their shots at him, and that's exactly what they did. He better learn to slide, otherwise he won't be around to finish this one.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Motion man is Shakir. Here's a tap forward by McCarthy on a touch pass. And this will be a Vikings first down as he gets this up past the 30 to the 32.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here's the option.
And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Now McCarthy.
Complete to right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34.
Motion man is Shakir. To the air with McCarthy.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is picked up by the Saints. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Now Rattler.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Rattler.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dallas Goedert, 83 yards.
And the Saints are on the board first here in this division round matchup.
Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? The first points of a ball game. How about during the playoffs? Vitally important, and they've done that in this one.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Now he's free at the 35.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
At the 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And Shaheed going to go in motion.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And when you get into the divisional round of the playoffs, this is where having the ability to run the football is such an advantage. The defenses, they're generally going to be tougher the further you go along. So if you can get something established up front, it's going to give you a great chance to move on.
To the air is Rattler.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Saints. Dallas Goedert, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
McCarthy off the play fake.
Here's a diving catch right side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
16 more on that one and another first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
And his throw is incomplete.
And now the common sight, at least on this drive, a momentary setback go for this passing game. It has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. In a wild card win last week, he had just 2 catches, and now he's got his first one here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. McCarthy going to throw again. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. On play action, now McCarthy. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. James Mitchell, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are back within a score. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute. But did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it. And afterwards, they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. The tight end in motion right. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage with just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll go. Here's Rattler. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. They only needed that 1 yard going for it on 4th. I got to be honest, I thought they were going to stay on the ground. They surprised me. Did they surprise you?
I'm with you on that one. I thought they'd find a way to create some type of a power run and try and pick up the first down, but they decided to keep the ball in the hands of the guy who could throw it, and it paid off.
Yeah, the decision paid off indeed. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. As Shaheed going to go in motion. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Rattler. They'll get this out to Kamara. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
They'll throw. Here's Rattler. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Jonathan Grenard, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Two minutes gone by, second quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. Bates' kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
They're on the 30-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Give him 32 on the play.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he's brought down at the 19 after a gain of 19. First down in the red zone.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Throwing is McCarthy.
This is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
T.J. Hockenson from 19 yards away. And the Vikings have got it back to within a score. Extra point by York is up and good.
And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
From the gun, here's Rattler. That'll be taken in by Shaheed.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Past the 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Over 30 yards there. And first downs on 3 consecutive plays now.
Rattler wants to throw it.
They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Henry running right.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Rattler from the gun, 3rd down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Throwing is Rattler. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Henry will score. Touchdown, New Orleans.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Now the try here for the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we will not have a run back here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote a very Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Looking downfield for Godwin. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. A big play there just before halftime. 48 yards.
We saw these guys have some big plays in their wild card win last week, and they're certainly going to need to continue to put up plays like we just saw there if they hope to continue to move on in these playoffs.
Throwing again, McCarthy. He'll drop this underneath for Jones.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
To the air with McCarthy.
And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Khalil Shakir as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by York is up and good. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. He completes it to Olave. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Rattler. That's Olave bringing in another one. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think the key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Kamara off the draw, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
This short throw caught by Goddard, and he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Tries the left side and finds Alano. And he is going to have a Saints first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
A first down carry for Henry. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To the air is Rattler. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. And Shaheed going to go in motion. Rattler working out of the gun. And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dallas Goedert saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. A try here for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now McCarthy. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Second down and 8. A give up the middle to right. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
Well, it's not time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw McCarthy. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Motion man is Shakir. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Now 2nd and 3. Now a give, running left is right. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Buying time to his left. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. and he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now they'll put a receiver in motion left.
He's going to handle it on the touch pass. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
McCarthy operating from the gun.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
And this is going to be intercepted. This one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times.